सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद से अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Shriman Srivas, Vanacari, Hare Krishna. Good to see you, and good to see all the devotees. Prabhuji, you may unmute. Let me see here. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, if you are ready, I'll put the verse on the screen, and then we may start. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. It seems Prabhuji is having issues with his microphone, so we'll wait for him a little while he tries to fix that. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, now we can hear you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. All God is to great.
I'm sorry that my computer has given me some trouble here.
It's okay. Now we can hear you. So that's all good. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So, like I said, good to see you and good to have you on today. So I'm going to put the rest on the screen and we may start.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Hare Krishna. All right. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Narachayava Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Nashnapraya Subhadresu Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. So we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 12, entitled The Birth of Emperor Parikhit. And today we are treating text 19. So the verse is Brahmana Uchu Parata Prajavita Shakshat Ishwakur Iva Manava Brahmanya Satya Sadascha Ramodha Sarati Yataha Brahmana Uchur Parata Prajavita Shakshat Ishwakur Iva Manava Brahmanya Satya Sadascha Ramo Darsharati Yataha Brahmana Uchur Parta Prajavita Shakshat Brahmana Uchur Parta Prajavita Shakshat Ishwakur Iva Manava Brahmanya Satya Sadascha Ramo Dasarati Yataha. Word for word translation. Brahmanaha, the good Brahmanas, Uchur said, Partha, O son of Prita, Kunti, O son of Prita, Kunti, Praja, those who are born, Avita, maintainer, Shakshat, directly, Ishwaku, Iva, exactly like King Ishwaku, Manava, son of Manu, Brahmanya, followers and respectful to the Brahmanas, Satya Sandaha, truthful by promise, Cha also, Rama, the personality of Godhead, Rama, Dasarati, the son of Maharaj Dasarat, Yataha, like him. The translation, the learned Brahmana said, O son of Prita, this child shall be exactly like King Ishwaku, son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born, and as for following the Brahminical principles, especially in being true to his promise, he shall be exactly like Ram, the personality of Godhead, the son of Maharaj Dasarat. Purport. Praja means the living being who has taken his birth in the material world. Actually, the living being has no birth and no death, but because of his separation from the service of the Lord and due to his desire to lord it over material nature, he is offered a suitable body to satisfy his material desires. In doing so, one becomes conditioned by the laws of material nature, and the material body is changed in terms of his own work. The living entity thus transmigrates from one body to another in 8,400,000 species of life. But due to his being the part and parcel of the Lord, he not only is maintained with all necessities of life by the Lord, but also is protected by the Lord and his representatives, the saintly kings. These saintly kings give protection to all the prajas, or living beings, to live and to fulfill their terms of imprisonment. Maharaj Parikhit was actually an ideal saintly king because while touring his kingdom, he happened to see that a poor cow was about to be killed by the personified Kali, whom he at once took to tax as a murderer. This means that even the animals were given protection by the saintly administrators, not from any sentimental point of view, but because those who have taken their birth in the material world have the right to live. All the saintly kings, beginning from the king of the sun globe down to the king of the earth, are so inclined by the influence of the Vedic literatures. The Vedic literatures are taught in higher planets also, as there is reference in Bhagavad Gita 4.1 about the teachings to the sun god Vivaswan by the Lord. And such lessons are transferred by the simple succession, as it was done by the sun god to his son Manu, and from Manu to Maharaj Ishwaku. There are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma, and the Manu referred to herein is the seventh Manu, who is one of the Prajapatis, those who create progeny, and he is the son of the sun god. He is known as the Vaivashata Manu. He had 10 sons, and Maharaj Ishwaku is one of them. Maharaj Ishwaku also learned Bhakti Yoga as taught in the Bhagavad Gita by his father, Manu, who got it from his father, the sun god. Later on the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita came down by disciple succession from Maharaj Ishwaku. But in course of time, the chain was broken by unscrupulous persons, and therefore it again had to be taught to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So all the Vedic literatures are current from the very beginning of creation of the material world, and thus the Vedic literatures are known as Aparosheya, not made by man. The Vedic knowledge was spoken by the Lord and first heard by Brahma, the first created living being within the universe. Maharaj Ishwaku, one of the sons of Vaivashata Manu, he had 100 sons. He prohibited meat eating. His son, Shashada, became the next king after his death. Manu, the Manu mentioned in this verse as the father of Ishwaku, is the seventh Manu of the name Vaivashata Manu, the son of the sun god Vivaswan, to whom Lord Krsna instructed the teachings of Bhagavad Gita prior to his teaching them to Arjuna. Mankind is the descendant of Manu. This Vaivashata Manu had 10 sons, named Ishwaku, Nabaga, Drishna, Sharayati, Narishanta, Nabaga, Dishna, Karusha, Prishadra, and Vashuman. The Lord's incarnation, Matsya, the gigantic fish, was advented during the beginning of Vaivashata Manu's reign. He learned the principles of Bhagavad Gita from his father, Vivaswan, the sun god, and he re-instructed the same to his son, Maharaj Ishwaku. In the beginning of Treta Yuga, the sun god instructed devotional service to Manu, and Manu in his turn instructed it to Ishwaku for the welfare of the whole human society. Lord Ram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, incarnated himself as Sri Ram, accepting the sonhood of his pure devotee, Maharaj Dasarat, the king of Ayodhya. Lord Ram descended along with his plenary portions, and all of them appeared as his younger brothers. In the month of Chaitra, on the 9th day of the growing moon, in Treta Yuga, the Lord appeared, as usual, to establish the principles of religion and to annihilate the disturbing elements. When he was just a young boy, he helped the great sage Vishwamrita by killing Shobhahu and striking Marisha, the two demons who were disturbing the sages in their daily discharge of duties. The Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas are meant to cooperate for the welfare of the mass of people. The Brahmana sages endeavor to enlighten the people by perfect knowledge, and the Kshatriyas are meant for their protection. Lord Ramachandra is the ideal king for maintaining and protecting the highest culture of humanity, known as Brahmanya Dharma. The Lord is specifically the protector of the cows and the Brahmanas, and hence he enhances the prosperity of the world. He rewarded the administrative demigods by effective weapons to conquer the demons through the agency of Vishwamitra. He was present in the bow sacrifice of King Janaka, and by breaking the invisible bow of Shiva, he married Sita Devi, daughter of Maharaj Janaka. After his marriage, he accepted exile in the forest for 14 years by the order of his father, Maharaj Dasarath. To help the administration of the demigods, he killed 14,000 demons. And by the intrigues of the demons, his wife, Sita Devi was kidnapped by Ravana. He made friendship with Sugriva, who was helped by the Lord to kill Vali, brother of Sugriva. By the help of Lord Ram, Sugriva became the king of the Vanaras, a race of gorillas. The Lord built a floating bridge of stones on the Indian Ocean and reached Lanka, the kingdom of Ravana, who had kidnapped Sita. Later on, Ravana was killed by him, and Ravana's brother, Vibhishan, was installed on the throne of Lanka. Vibhishan was one of the brothers of Ravana, a demon, but Lord Ram made him immortal by his blessings. On the expiry of 14 years, after settling the affairs of Lanka, the Lord came back to his kingdom, Ayodhya, by Flower Plain. He instructed his brother, Shatrughna, to attack Lavanasura, who reigned at Mathura, and the demon was killed. He performed 10 Ashwamedha sacrifices, and later on, he disappeared while taking a bath in the Sarayu River. The great epic Ramayana is the history of Lord Ram's activities in the world, and the authoritative Ramayana was written by the great poet Valmiki. Om Jnana Timiridasya Jnanan Jnanashalakaya Chakshuramlitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yukta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Scha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunastam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krsna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swaminiti Namine Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Ashritatmane Shri Gora Karuna Shakti Bhakti Tetareti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvese Sasunyavadi Pasachade Satarini Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Ivacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratuise Namaha Nityanando Vatu Tendor Vasuda Pranavalabaha Janaviri Jivita Patil Krishna Prema Pradaprabhu Padmavati Sutta Srimam Sachirananda Purvajaha Bhavom Mata Jagat Rakta Rakta Gora Kele Varaha Advaitam Harinadvaita Racharyam Bhakti Shamshanat Bhaktavataram Itam Shamadvaita Acharya Shraye Panchatattvamakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Pankajamalini Nama Pankaja Malini Nama Pankaja Nitraya Namaste Pankajagraye Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopita Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Yayatam Sarato Pango Mama Mandir Gatin Masarvasa Padam Bujo Radha Mandana Mohano Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadrumanda Srimaranat Gara Simhasanastau Sri Sri Radha Srila Govinda Devo Pristyani Visevya Manos Marami Shri Mamra Sarasaram Vivam Sivata Tatastita Karsan Venu Swanai Gopi Gopinata Sri Estunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari
Hare Krishna, it appears Srivas Vanacari is frozen. I guess it's poor internet connection. We'll wait a little while he gets that resolved. Hare Krishna, thank you for your patience. It appears we lost him completely. So we'll wait a little while to see if he can get back. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. It appears His Grace Srivas Vanacari is not back yet. So I suggest, let me see. I suggest I'll put the verse back on the screen. We'll go over the verse and then we'll discuss it. There are some important points made as usual by Srila Prabhupada and worth discussing. It's quite unfortunate we've lost His Grace Vanacari, but I think that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to put the verse back on the screen. We go through the verse, the purport, and we'll bring it on the floor for discussion. Hare Krishna. Okay, so the learned Brahmins said, O son of Pritha, this child shall be exalted like King Ikshwaku, son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born. And as for following the Brahminical principles, especially in being true to his promise, he shall be exalted like Ram, the personality of Godhead, the son of Maharaj Dasharath. Yesterday, depending on your geographical location, I had posted one short video clip by His Grace Chaitanya Charan because somebody had asked, how can we as devotees make our children as good as Sri Prahlad? So in that short discourse, Sri Chaitanya Charan Prabhu was saying that children are not like clay that one can just mold them the way they want to. They all come, everybody comes into this world with pre-packaged stuff that they have to do in this world. And so we see in this translation, the Brahmins are always telling the assembled devotees the nature and the caliber of the son, Parikhit. So they're saying that this child shall be exalted like King Ikshwaku. Let me see if His Grace came back.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, he's back. Hare Krishna, thank you. So,
Sorry.
Prabhuji, please continue.
Yes, I'm having some problem with my internet.
Yeah, we understand.
So I'm using the phone now, using my handset.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So you may continue.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So we're just going to read the translation again.
Okay.
Before we commence the class. And the translation says, the learned Brahmana said, O son of Pritha, this child shall be exactly like King Ikshwaku, son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born. And as for following the Brahminical principles, especially in being true to his promise, he shall be exactly like Ram, the personality of Godhead, and the son of Dasarath, Maharaj Dasarath. Bukam karotiva chalam pangam lagaye te green. Yar kripatamahan vande Shri Guru Dinantaranam Paramanam Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Akanda mandala karam vyaptayina characharam. Tarpadam dashitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So before we proceed to discuss this verse, we seek the blessings of the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis so that we can say something for our own purification. The astrologer brahmanas, they are forecasting the qualities of Parikhit Maharaj. In the Vedic times, when a child is born, the father would invite a qualified astrologer to give them a clue of the mission of the child by foretelling his future. Even currently, it is still happening in India. We still have some very good astrologers in India who are invited when a child is born, and they give a very detailed future of the child. Like we have the case of our founder Acharya, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Mohan De, his father, at the time of his birth, invited an expert astrologer to foretell the future of the child. And the astrologer, he was so good. He said that this boy is going to be a great religious proponent. He is going to travel all over the whole world, and he will establish 108 temples. He said he will cross the ocean at the age of 70. He will be a great religious proponent. He will change the face of the world with the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada just did exactly like that. So it is part of the Vedic culture that when a child is born, qualified astrologer brahmanas are invited. And knowing the very moment the child appeared in the world, they would calculate. And from their calculations, they can interpret the whole life of the child. So here, it has been reported that the brahmanas who were invited to focus, predict, foretell the future of Parikhit Maharaj, the brahmanas, they are giving us a clue of the life of Parikhit Maharaj. So he said here, the learned brahmana said, "O son of Pritha, this child shall be exactly like King Ishwaku, son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born And as for following the of my right, that's all right.
Probably, may we try just using your audio without the image for the time being? We see how that goes. Because sometimes using both audio and image impedes the internet. Probably you are muted. Okay.
I went out again, even the phone.
Yeah.
So
I was suggesting that sometimes when you just use the audio without the video,
without a video,
it helps stabilize the internet. Of course, we like to see your Lord's face, but
no.
if that is going
Okay,
to be
for now.
blocking, but you're
Yeah,
okay, you're good now. So we
maybe
may go
I
ahead.
should put on the audio. I should use only the audio.
Now I was saying you are clear now. We can hear you clearly. So you may go
Okay.
ahead and continue. Yes.
Okay. So so a great devotee like Parikhit Maharaj, he is an ocean of wonderful qualities. In fact, it is said that because the Lord has such unlimited qualities, such wonderful qualities, the Lord also empowers his great devotees with wonderful qualities. In the Vedanta Sutra, it is mentioned, Vyavasayo Vyavastanaha Samstanat Stanado Dhruvaha Prarabdir Parama Spastaha Tushta Pushta Shubhakshenaha. That the Lord is the final conclusion of all Vedic literatures. Krishna is endowed with innumerable transcendental qualities. Vyavastanaha, the Lord is endowed with innumerable transcendental qualities. So just as Krishna has unlimited qualities, wonderful qualities, the Bhagavatas, like Parikhit Maharaj, they also have
Prabhu, you can just switch off the video for Prabhuji because the quality is going to help you.
Yeah, I saw your message and I just did that, but now we've lost him completely. I turned his video off, but now we've lost him.
Yeah, the network is bad in the area there.
Yeah. It's quite sad because it checks the flow of the narration.
And it's very frustrating also for the person who is speaking.
Yes, it is. It is. Okay, he's back. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you may unmute. You are muted.
Today is not a good day. The internet is poor, very poor, very bad.
Yeah.
It's raining actually. It's raining actually. It's raining
Okay.
here.
And
That's why it's
I'm sorry, I'm going to switch your video off.
okay.
For now, we see how that goes.
Yeah, I use only the audio.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Please continue.
Okay. So in logic, we have what is called Shaka Chandra Nyaya. Shaka Chandra Nyaya means that the logic of showing the moon to a child by pointing at the branches of a tree. In other words, to give a clue of the moon to the child, we show the branches of a tree. We say, look to the branches of the tree, and beyond the branches of the tree, you can see the moon. So in other words, it gives the child a clue. He looks at the tree, he looks at the branches, and then he sees through the branches the shiny moon. This is called
Hare Krishna Prabhu, are you still there? You are muted. No, you are unmuted. Dear devotees, it appears it's not going to be that easy for His Grace to continue with the lectures. So like I attempted doing earlier, just because it's almost time to end the class anyway. It's just 6 minutes away from 1 hour, which we usually use to speak. So I don't know if we can just discuss and the way to share the, well, Srivas Vanacari is back. Prabhu, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm so sorry for this interjection, this unnecessary technical hitches.
Yeah.
No.
Well, some things are beyond our control. So.
Our control. So anyway, maybe I just bring a few more minutes and then we just conclude because the whole class is disorganized.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of. So Parikhit Maharaj is a very wonderful devotee that his qualities are innumerable. He is such a powerful saintly king, as it is said that when it comes to maintaining the praja, the citizens, he was like King Ishwaku. As Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, how King Ishwaku did not allow the killing of animals because he considered every living entity in the state as praja. Anyone who has taken birth in the state has a right to live. So Ishwaku is such a powerful king, such a saintly king, that he never allowed the slaughter of poor animals in his state. And we can see the parallels in the life of Parikhit Maharaj. When Parikhit Maharaj was touring his state, he saw a Sudra dressed as a Kshatriya. He was in royal dress, but he was breaking the legs of a cow. And immediately, Parikhit Maharaj wanted to chastise him for what he was doing, for his irreligious acts. So therefore, it is said that in maintaining the citizens, he was like King Ishwaku. Actually, there are many parallels between Ishwaku and Parikhit Maharaj. Ishwaku received the Bhagavad Gita from his father. Vaivashatamanu. Vaivashatamanu is the son of Vivashwan, the sun god. Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Vivashwan, and Vivashwan spoke to Vaivashatamanu, and Vaivashatamanu spoke to Ishwaku. And through Ishwaku, the Bhagavad Gita came to humanity. That means before that time, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was known in the higher planetary systems. It was known on the sun planet. It was known in some heavenly planets. But gradually, through the disciple succession, coming through Ishwaku, Bhagavad Gita was known to humanity. We also see that in the life of Parikhit Maharaj, it was through him that the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken to the world. Even though the Bhagavatam was known among the demigods, Brihaspati, the priest of the demigods, he is a scholar of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And in fact, Uddhava is said to be a student of Brihaspati. And because of his in-depth knowledge of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that was why Krishna sent Uddhava to Vrindavan to pacify the Brijabasis. It is said that Uddhava, being a student of Brihaspati, he learned the mood of the Brijabasis. He learned everything from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And therefore, Krishna understood that only he could pacify the gopis and the Brijabasis. So therefore, he was singled out among the Yadus to go to Vrindavan.
Hare Krishna. I think His Grace lost his audio. Let me see. Okay, he's still here. Prabhuji, you are muted. You may unmute.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So I was saying that Brihaspati is a great scholar of Srimad Bhagavatam. And before Shukadeva Goswami spoke to Parikhit Maharaj about Srimad Bhagavatam, Brihaspati was already teaching a lot of people, a lot of students on the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yet we had to agree or accept that it was through Parikhit Maharaj that the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken on this planet. It was through Parikhit Maharaj that Shukadeva Goswami
Hare Krishna.
It appears we lost him again. So I guess we'll bring the class to a close by I see His Holiness Bhakti Damodara Maharaj is here. If devotees, Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for being here. If devotees have questions from the text itself, from the purport, and from what His Grace Srivas Vanacari has said so far, we may ask, and I hope His Holiness will be here to help us with answering such questions. Because it appears Srivas Vanachari's internet will not favor him today. Shri Govinda, you had something to say?
Yes, yeah, actually, I was going to suggest the same thing that Maharaj is here, so he may continue from where Srivas Vanachari has left.
Okay.
And then at the end of it, then we can have questions.
All right.
If anybody has questions to ask him.
Okay. Well accepted. So Maharaj, you may unmute and help us in this regard, if possible. Hare Krishna.
Which Maharaj?
Oh, Bhakti
Yeah.
Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj. I think you're the only one. You're the only Maharaj here today. Yes. Okay. Maharaj, if you can help us in this regard. Srivas Vanacari is trying so hard, but his internet will not favor him. Even after turning off the video, he's still having problems. So if you do you want me to put the verse back on the screen? So at least you see the text. I guess you came in a little late.
Yes, I came in late.
Yeah. So I can put the verse back on the screen, just read the translation. And then if you have something little to say about that, and then you may ask questions. Personally, I have a couple questions. So it's 1:12:19, and this is the translation.
Now, I suggest, since we didn't get that much from Srivas Vanacari, we give Maharaj more time to explain the verse to us, since we didn't get that much from Srivas Vanacari.
Okay.
No, he's there now. He had already spoken about it.
Well, like I said, I believe you were not here from the very beginning, so I put the verse back on so you may read the text itself, and then you decide if you want to just say something little about it, or you just accept questions from devotees.
The learned Brahmana said, "O son of Putra, this child shall be exactly like King Ishraku, son of Manu, maintaining all those who are born. And as for following the Brahminical principles, especially in being true to his enemies, he shall be exactly like Ram, the speciality of God, the son of Maharaj, Dasara." This is after Parikhit Maharaj's appearance. Yudhishthira Maharaj called for the learned the custom for civilized people. And when the child appeared, it is necessary to know, we say, horoscope, to know about what the child stands for. So Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted this, want to know something about the person who has come in their lineage. And here is one of the qualities, of Parikhit Maharaj has been discussed. He is very concerned about maintaining the citizens. A king like him, saintly king like him, maintain the citizens exactly the way one takes care of the children, or personal biological children. They don't make any difference. Like Ramachandra he mentioned here, he will be like Ramachandra. Ramachandra treated his brothers, his citizens, his own parents. He treated everybody equally. So here, Parikhit Maharaj had the same nature, that he would be exactly like Ramachandra, taking care of everyone. giving everyone protection. Those who need to be punished, be punished. Those who need to be rewarded, they are rewarded. So they are ideal king. And it is not a surprise for Parikhit Maharaj because he was specifically brought in to represent Yudhishthira Maharaj. So all the wonderful qualities mentioned about him, they are natural for him and befitting the kind of service he has to do. So there are many other qualities, but for this one, he's talking about these two qualities about him. That's a little thing I want to share about it.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you for stepping in a very unconventional way. It was beyond what Srivas Vanacari could do. That's one thing with technology. But thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, if any of you have any question to ask, Maharaj is here to help with that. Maharaj, like I said, thank you. I haven't seen you for a while. Thank you. Thank you for being here. His Grace Srivas Vanacari had mentioned briefly that it is by the grace of Parikhit Maharaj that Srimad Bhagavatam was first spoken to the world. And I had a question about that because I understand that the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken to Shukadev Goswami by Vyasadeva. Shukadev also spoke it to Sutta Goswami, and Sutta Goswami spoke it to an assembly of great devotees. And Shukadev also spoke it to Parikhit later on. So what is the difference? Does that mean that what Vyasadeva spoke to Shukadev, and Shukadev, what he spoke to Sutta Goswami, and what Sutta Goswami spoke to the assembled saints was different from what Shukadev spoke to Maharaj Parikhit? Or what is the difference? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The Bhagavatam which Lord Krishna gave to Brahma, and Brahma gave to Narada, Narada gave to Vyasadeva, is different from this one, this Bhagavatam we are reading. Sukadeva Goswami, when he received the Bhagavatam, the first one is Samyak Pras. The first time the Bhagavatam was given. It is not mentioned as first, but that is the first time. The first time Bhagavatam was given to Sukadeva Goswami by his father Vyasadeva in his ashram, Samyak Pras, at the first place. And it was 4 verses. Then Sukadeva Goswami expanded 18,000 verses to what we have now. And because the Bhagavatam, it is said that Shuka parrot, when he tastes the fruit, the taste increased. I mean, when Sukadeva Goswami recited this Bhagavatam, it is more nectarian than what his father gave to him. That means this Bhagavatam is sweeter. It doesn't have a chaff like a fruit. Fruit that has seed, a fruit that has fibers, a fruit that has skin. So this Bhagavatam does not have fiber, it doesn't have skin, it doesn't have seed. It is samyutam. It is easily swallowable. And it is easily swallowable for those who are already mature and those who also are coming from behind. For all. So this is a difference. the Bhagavatam that Sukadeva Goswami gave. And Sutta Goswami took it from there, and then he gave to the sages and Namishanas. Anyway, it's on like 80,000 people in assembly. Namisharana. I have taken devotees to Namisharana many times. So very beautiful place. And devotees will try to visit it. Very holy place. My favorite place I used to visit regularly in India. And they will also speak about it. So this is a different.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. And I pray and hope that someday I will have the association on this Parikram in India, so I may also visit Naimisharanya. I'm praying.
Yes, very sweet.
Yes. Sure, Govinda, you have a question? Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, you just said that the Sutta Goswami spoke this Bhagavatam to 80,000 sages.
880.
Sorry.
880. 880.
Yes.
880. Yeah.
Oh, 880. Okay. So 880. One may be wondering, that time there was no technology. Like here we have, technology that when one speaks, the technology will amplify his speech, and whatever he spoke will go that far for others to hear. That time there was no technology like we have today. Say, how were the sages able to hear Sukadeva when he speaks, that 880 people can hear him? What medium were they using to be able to communicate with him like that?
Thank you very much for the question. No, Parikshit Maharaj is different from other Bhagavatam. Before Parikshit Maharaj Bhagavatam came, there is also Bhagavatam from Buddha. And so this Sukadeva Maharaj Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj Bhagavatam is different from. And then, yes, let me tell you the truth. Today, we have technology. It's not technology today. Technology was that time. So now we have what we consider technology. I don't see it as technology. It is a degradation. Technology was that time when there was no telephone from a telephone call from Parikshit Maharaj to Sukadeva Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj was in the city, and Sukadeva Goswami in the forest, in the jungle. How did they communicate? The super soul were doing the transmission. There's no bad network, there's no credit. You don't have to spend anything for it. In fact, Srimad asked the Maharaj Parikshit, how did you get Sukadeva Goswami to come and speak this? Because he was in the forest and you are in the city. Parikshit Maharaj said, this is the partiality of Lord Krishna because of my grandfather. So he made arrangement. He told Sukadeva Goswami to come and meet me to speak because of my grandfather, Arjuna. Let's say that. So that is the transcendental communication which is missing today. The same thing you will see when the Bhishma Dev was leaving the body, people come from all over the world, including Germany. They don't use Lufthansa. How did they get there? And they didn't come late. There was no lateness. There was nothing like a delay on the. From Germany, someone they come to India those days. How did they make it? So that was technology. And you look at Bhagavatam, you see Pritam Hare has a footwear. We have so many footwears. Pritam Maharaj footwear can take him anywhere you want. You can go to you can go to anywhere it will take him. Just put his feet in the shoe. He's gone to wherever he wants to go. There's no cash. Our technology. So we are missing that technology because of our contamination or thinking that we are in advanced age. We are not. Deriding God, it is a big contamination that covers our intelligence and make us to lose all the good quality, all the benefit that nature has for us. So if we take Krishna consciousness seriously, the Krishna consciousness had the potency to bring back the fortune which we are missing, which we had before. That you go to the river, the bank of the river, the ocean, you get all our cooking golden utensils to cook. And there's no lacking. So that was the technology. You were communicating from the heart directly. You don't need telephone, no interpretation. Any person can hear any language. The Christians are cheating people, thinking that you speak in tongues. But it is a normal thing that everybody can hear whatever I speak from the heart.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I'll be laughing and laughing and laughing because Maharaj, as you're speaking, I'm just wondering and thinking to myself, what makes Sukadev Goswami's Bhagavatam so juicy? Like you said, there is no nut, there is no kernel, there is no chaff, it's just juice. And what you were saying to Sri Govinda's question is so juicy, and I'm thinking to myself, what makes, of course, please forgive me for saying this, and you're not going to say this about yourself, but what makes, like, what Shukadev Goswami says so juicy, and like what you're saying so juicy? I may say the same thing, but it will not be so juicy. Well, this is just a comment, but Dr. George has his hands up. Prabhuji, please unmute. It's so nice.
Krishna Maharaj, I beg to offer my humble obeisances at your location.
Thank you.
Okay. Krishna Maharaj, please, I have two questions. Maharaj, first one, talking about astrology. When you come to my hometown today, you have these people who practice divinity, and we specialized area called Efa, by which they can tell you your future, or by they can predict your future.
Mm.
So as a devotee, when I go to search people, am I wrong? That's my first question.
If we have a faith in Krishna, Krishna is all and all for me, and he's there. He knows everything about me, and whatever is there, he will take care. Then there's no need to do that. If we don't have the faith, and we're thinking that something else is there superior to Krishna, then we can do that. But it is a disgrace. It's a disgrace. If I should say the truth, it's a disgrace. And it will depend on Krishna, and Krishna will show everything to us.
Okay, thank you, Maharaj.
Dr. George.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, Prabhu. Yeah. So my second question has to do with when Lord Ram was going to rescue Mother Sita, he has to construct a bridge. My question here is, what sort of means of transport was Ravana himself using at the time before Lord Ram have to construct a bridge?
Ravana has he sees a plane of his of his brother Kuvera. That was what we're using to travel. Kuvera has a plane, so Ravana seized it from him, took it away from him, because he is more powerful as a demon. So that's what he used in traveling. Ramachandra constructed it, not because he needed a bridge. He doesn't need the bridge. Neither his son need the bridge. Hanuman jumped to Lanka without using the bridge. Who gave him the power to do that? Is Lord Ramachandra himself. So Lord Ramachandra bridging the ocean is two things can be gotten from there. First thing is that the ocean, God asks him to do that. Why? To show his supreme nature, because no one else can do that. Only the supreme person, God, can do that. He also create faith in common people to make people have faith that Lord Machanda is the supreme person of God. She requested him to do that, and Lord Machanda did. It's a request. So he should make a history. So he made a history and did something which is not common for everyone to do. So he did that to show his supremacy. And then you will see also there's a lot of controversy. And controversy is a misunderstanding. It's a misunderstanding because Lord Machanda he worshipped Shiva. So people common with see, yeah, Shiva is God. And Machanda, he worshipped Shiva. How can you tell me not to do? You are saying Ramachandra is God? Yes, so yeah, God worship Shiva. Therefore, why should not? And if he did, that means what? Shiva is supreme. Not Ramachandra, not Nanda. So Shiva will construct a bridge over this ocean. Only Krishna can do that. His expansions. So this is one of the reasons why he did that. To create a history that no one else can do, except the personality of God. Below the bridge.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Okay, Dr. George, thank you. Sri Govinda, you have a question?
Yes, the question is in connection with Dr. George, a question to Maharaj.
Yeah.
And the answer Maharaj gave was very simple and was very powerful. So I've been thinking about this answer, and it's taking me all over. It's taking me everywhere. When we have faith in Krishna, like Maharaj said, then we don't have to go anywhere but to depend on Krishna. He will take care of everything. But the same Krishna also has given this astrology for us to use. I don't know whether the astrology devotees can study it, but we don't have to apply. And if that is the case, then how come that Go Mohan, Srila Prabhupada's father, when Srila Prabhupada was born, he called an astrologer to come and see to his child future. and also we have different yagyas that we perform as devotees. And these yagyas are meant for our purification. And we also extend it to the non-devotees. We do the yagyas for them. So devotees, when we are doing a marriage ceremony, even though we know Krishna, well, I cannot speak for others, but the system is there for us to follow. And so the yagyas are recommended for us to do as when we are doing the like marriage ceremony and other ceremonies, even though we have that faith in Krishna, but we still do them. So at what point can a devotee go to an astrologer? Because you said do that is a disgrace. I don't know whether doing that from a devotee is okay, or devotee going to a kami for his astrological chart is a disgrace. The same if it is that a kami know the same signs that Krishna has given, then why do we call that as a disgrace? Because I know Krishna wants us to use, that's why he has given us.
Yes, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he met his grandfather is in Nilambara Chakravarti, he's an astrologer. And so he was consulted. He came to do divination for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Also, like Lord Krishna, Gargamuni is the priest of the Vishnus. So he did divination for Krishna, and he saw this boy, he has appeared 3 times, white, red, and yellow. Now he has accepted black color. Now Narayan he has all the qualities of Narayan. And actually, Narayan lives in him, which is wrong. Which is wrong. Narayan is living in Krishna. Narayan is expansion of Krishna, and Narayan lives in Krishna, not Krishna living in Narayan. Narayan lives in not Krishna living in Narayan. Not in Narayan, not Krishna living in Narayan. Narayan lives in Krishna. So Gargamuni concluded like that because he's speaking to Vedabasi, who never accepted and Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead because of the love they have for Krishna, not because of ignorance, but because of the love they have. So they have that. That's in nature. So they were all consulted. Like now, Parikshit Maharaj was someone reading his horoscope. What is he going to do? So it's a science. That is being called, somebody being called to come and look at this child. What's he going to be? So the parent will know how to guide the child towards that. Like to because they were saying he's going to do this. He did that. He did that. Proper did that. But one thing you should understand is that whatever information you get can be changed by Krishna at any time without the permission from the astrologers. Any time Krishna can change it. Anything will go from Krishna or from the astrologers. They can predict something, but that prediction can change anytime when Krishna wants. For a devotee, Krishna can change it. For a karma, it's okay, not a problem. Well, for devotee, anytime you can change. One astrologer will tell you have 100 years to live. Krishna can reduce it to 50. He can tell you have 20 years. Krishna can make it 50. Krishna has full dependence. That means what? It is relative to devotee. Now you talk about samskara. Samskara is a different thing. Now we are making samskara for marriage ceremony or child's bed. That's a samskara. It's for purification. So it is all right. The devotee learns them, and we we use it when devotees are making marriages. Yes, we should do that. That is okay. There is nothing wrong with that. But let me tell you the truth. Do you think that all the time we sit down to do Jagya for 2 hours, do you think that if you sit down and channel Krsna for 2 hours, they will have the same result?
Okay, thank you so much, Maharaj. Kavikana Prabhu, you have a question for Maharaj? Good to see you, brother. Hare Krishna.
Yes, I have a question for Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisance. Happy New Year, Maharaj. Sorry, I've not greeted you this year. Happy New Year, Maharaj. Happy to see you on the platform.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj. So my question is regarding to the.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Maharaj. My question is related to the statement you make about you talk about the technological advancement that in the olden days there was more advancement and spiritual advancement that is people can communicate spiritually than today is that we have so much technological advancement and people can communicate materially. So my question is that you mentioned that it's a degradation. Don't you think that if the scientists they come to hear about we devotees talking that their advancement, because now Facebook is going to another level of now that is why he has changed his name to Meta, means that it will come to a stage now. The advancement will come to a stage now that as now I'm in another city, I can come and relate with you in another city through some mental face they are trying to create using 5G and all the rest. Even somebody can be in America and be doing operation for somebody in Nigeria. That is the nice level they are going. So, Maharaj, if this is going to help in devotees also, how is it the degradation? Like now, example is this Zoom. Without this Zoom now, we will not be on this platform hearing about Krishna, sweet Krishna Katha from you. So how is this kind of advancement and degradation, Maharaj? Please, can you throw more light on this?
Sorry, the network was not so clear.
Okay, yeah.
Can you hear me now, Maharaj?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was saying is that you were saying that the material advancement, this technological advancement, the scientific advancement of nowadays is degradation. Why the advancement was then more in the olden days when people were more spiritually advanced. Like you talk about the Bhishma Dev gathering, people gathering at the passing of Bhishma Dev. There was no telephone, there was no communication, but people gathered, and so many other examples you gave. So I was now saying that although we are not spiritually advanced nowadays, that we can communicate spiritually, but the scientists, they make it very easy for us. We can communicate materially by using Zoom. We can travel. Those days they use spiritual vimana. They travel to other planetary systems, but now they can travel by using the material plane. Because we are not so spiritually advanced in this age. So how is it degradation even though we can use it for Krishna consciousness, Maharaj? That is my question.
Thank you very much, Babu. Thank you. This is my network. This is on network. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Maharaj. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you, Maharaj.
If I listen to you carefully, can we compare Diana with our airplane? No.
The network is breaking.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, the network is breaking.
Yeah, Maharaj, we cannot hear you that time. The network was breaking.
So, repeat what I said. We cannot compare Vimana with our airplane today. There's nothing to compare. One, you don't need pilot. Our own, you need pilots. Two, there's no consumption of fuel. To get fuel, you're polluting the whole universe by using the fuel. First of all, it is demonic to dig the oil from the ground. Secondly, it's a heavy pollution to use it and then fume the whole place negative. So how is that advancement? And there's no crash also. There's no fear. You're going to crash.
Maharaj, may you try like turning off your video? We see how it works. Yes, because it becomes choppy sometimes. Yeah, and then you can go ahead and speak.
So it is degradation because Vimana does not require pilot, doesn't require fuel, doesn't require crashing, there's no fear, there's not, when you sit in the plane, the first thing before starting, the first thing is to warn you in the time of emergency, do this, do this, do this. I didn't pay big money to go and hear such a threat. You pay big money to go and enjoy it. You go and sit down, you get settled. You don't even start the journey. Start warning you in the time of the emergency. Light will not. You see, when you're in anxiety, how will you remember to put on the jacket when in anxiety? It is fear. So for you to jump out of the aircraft who will remember that? It's just a joke. We don't have all these things with Vimana, the airplane, that can travel easily anytime you like. No anxiety, there's no tension, no expenses, nothing. There's no crash. And you can go anywhere. No ticket, there's no visa. Our airplane is very, very risky. It wastes your time. It box you in tight air for hours and hours and hours. So it's degradation. That is why now we are reduced to what we are. So I'm not saying we should not use them. We should use them to advance our Christian concept because this is what we are. So we can use them and make our Christian concepts life. Just like now we are using it. So we should use it. But the people who made it, they didn't make it for this. Just the Christian consciousness is very powerful. Our child property is very powerful that he just brought Christian consciousness into it to purify it and purify them also for this. It's a fortune that the devotees can use them. Otherwise, we can use it to commit more crimes or expand so many sinful activities. With Vimana, what offense do you use in committing?
Thank you so much, Maharaj. And I really appreciate your answer.
You have to put it in a regular place. It's heavy tax. It's heavy amount.
Yeah. I believe devotees are really Hare Krishna. Devotees are really showing answers because I think, like Maharaj, you were saying, it's a complete and total degradation. But this is all we have today, so we have to use them, like you said, because there are many temples around the world. I have a video that I played from time to time, where today's modern building engineers have been trying to figure out how the ancients were able to build such sophisticated temples. And they just can't come up with any close idea. And some of the temples have been standing there for thousands of years and no single erosion. They have one temple which was built in a rock. You know, they went into the rock and built the temple in the rock. Usually when we build, we bring the rocks outside to construct, but they went into the rock and did the construction. And so it's amazing. We are very, very much degraded, except that the scientists have been able to make it available to all those who are qualified or unqualified to use it, just by having the money to purchase it. But quality-wise, it's a big degradation. So thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Any
Hare
questions?
Krishna.
They are all
Yes.
cheating. They are all cheating because there is a science called clairvoyance, telepathy, clairaudience. So with this science, one can sit here and communicate. The same thing, you just put it in a very mechanical way. I can sit here and communicate with somebody. I can see what happened in that place. This trauma, they were common, and people have this, even here in Africa, it's not a new thing. It is known, it's a well-known thing. This science was there. So we are really degraded to the machine. I don't think that it is reduced to what we have today.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like this.
Yeah.
They're supposed to tell you that they are tapping into this science and studying it, and instead of them to tell the truth, they're hiding it and just bring all the mechanical, the physical thing. I'm telling people, they are not just using their mechanical brain, they are using these subtle brains, these subtle sciences. They will do all these things. It's something you call automatic drawing, automatic writing. Automatic writing, if you connect with some divinity, you draw. That is how they got to design all the bolts and the node and all the different parts of every machine. It came from automatic writing. One knows the science, you can manufacture everything completely and fix it. So instead of giving credit that we are too mechanical, although even that mechanical nature is coming from the subtle energy of Krishna, but we don't give credit to Krishna, we're giving it to ourselves. So we are doing something. We're doing something. Who gave the brain for us to do what we're doing? Krishna can speak it anytime, cannot do anything.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Govinda, you fired up? You have something else?
I'm very happy to see Maharaj today. He's given us amazing nectar.
Yeah.
So I don't want him to go. So, you know, Maharaj, you see, I'm still on the same first question I asked you, and your explanation to the question was clear, but at the same time, I also have an extension to that, a question to ask for you to help me understand this. You know, the people in Kali Yoga are not the same as the people in Satya Yoga, Dwapara Yoga, or Treta Yoga. these 3 ages were more advanced than the Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is considered a degraded yoga, degraded age. And so people are prone to more sinful activities in Kali Yuga. But God consciousness, if one develop God consciousness, if one develop purity or pure love of God in Kali Yuga, is it different from one who has developed pure love of God in Satya Yuga? If pure love of God, I know they are in different stages. There are different levels of one's development or one's connection with Krishna. But during this time that Maharaj Parikhit and Sutta Goswami speaking to 880 sages. I know these sages, they were all very great devotees. But at the same time, they also have a different connections or the different levels of attainment so far as God consciousness is concerned. Even though they all have love for Krishna, but they relate to Krishna in different ways. But at the same time, when Maharaj Sutta Goswami speaks, they can all understand him. The Super Soul can help them to understand everything. So I'm just trying to relate this to the devotees in Kali Yuga. I know there are pure devotees in this our movement. I don't know whether some of them do it, that they can sit like Maharaj is in Lagos. They speak and to someone who is also advanced can hear you from Lagos, all over the world. Or someone will speak from India, and then a person in Ghana can understand him. All of us may not be able to understand you because we are not on that platform. And that's why this social media is very important. But if I'm on the same platform that I can hear, like Sutta Goswami, the group he spoke to, then I can hear you. There's no need for me even to come here before I can hear anything. So my question is kind of, so I just want you to help me to understand this. Do we have people in Kali Yuga or that level of advancement in Kali Yuga that one can speak and that speech can amplify, or it can affect somebody's heart, or can somebody hear him by the media of the Paramatma? Do we have sages in Kali Yuga like those previous ages? Or it's only that time that they can get this benefit, but the people in Kali Yuga cannot?
Once I asked a disciple, why are you not communicating with me? Oh, I'm very sorry. I'm having problem with my cell phone. So I said, so you can only communicate with me through your cell phone? You cannot do it without your cell phone? So I see. So you don't have any means to communicate with only cell phone? You cannot communicate from the house? Why you want to wait for your cell phone? I told one disciple like that. And I remember also some years ago, I was in Brazil and I was speaking. The next day, the class I gave, one devotee repeated it to me from different countries. And everything I said, he repeated it. It's not like and a fulgent devotee that you can say, oh, I have this. But the whole lecture I gave, he repeated everything the same to me. So what I'm saying is that it is possible. It is possible. Not that it is possible. It is happening because I have physical experience. It is possible. This is not something that I was told. It's something that I have direct experience. I'm sorry if it makes sense to you.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Maharaj. To try to attempt to buttress what you just said, I won't mention names. But I have a god brother who told me this very interesting and fascinating story. It wasn't shocking to me because I'm sorry to say, I knew a little bit about the devotee he was referring to. And the devotee happens to be here. But this devotee, a god brother of mine, shared with me that he had asked this devotee, how does the guru appear to the disciple or the devotee in dreams? Like we all dream, we don't plan going wherever we find ourselves in dreams, but the guru plans to visit this particular devotee and he does it. So he was told that the person told him, yes, it's possible and we can do it. So he said, okay, can we do it tonight? He said, yeah. So lo and behold, the devotee went to sleep and he saw this person in his dream. And it wasn't actually a dream, the way he described it. There is difference between dream and vision or revelation. But this devotee revealed himself to him. So he thought it was just what he was thinking that made him see what he saw in his dream. So he told the devotee, yes, you appeared. But I think I was just thinking about, can we do it again tonight? He said, yeah. And he repeated again. So there are devotees in our movement who can do these things. But of course, these things are not like displayed in public, but whatever was attainable in the previous bygone ages are also attainable in this age. That's all I can say to contribute to what Maharaj was saying. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Well, that devotee is in this forum, and it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful that we have such devotees amongst us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for your blessings and your patience taking the boat over because we were having an unfavorable wind. And for whatever the reason, Guru Krishna's grace, you came in to save the situation. So thank you very much. And at this point, I think we'll bring the class to an end. Maharaj, if you have something else to say, you may say before we bring the class to an end.
I think, and this is what I have, wishing everyone a happy Krishna conscious New Year and become closer to Krishna more this year than ever.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
And thank you for your blessings. So at this point, we ask all the devotees to unmute. And before we do that, I have to register my appreciation to all the devotees for your patience and your tolerance and your eagerness to hearing Bhagavatam every day in and out. Thank you so much for your presence. So you may all unmute and then we chant Hare Krishna to express our appreciation to Maharaj for his presence Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Gurudev ki jai.
Jai, Srila Bidiri Maharaj ki Jai.
If you wouldn't mind, I'm going to end the online the live stream on YouTube, and then I would like to play